Did Hex Gaming just drop the dream controller that I've been waiting for? Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. I am actually truly excited about the video that we are doing today. As you can see here, I have a number of different PlayStation 5 controllers. And as those of you who are familiar with this channel know, I have been chasing the perfect controller for PlayStation 5 for a lot of years now. And we've gone all the way back to 3D printed back paddles and clicky back buttons just glued into a modified PlayStation 5 controller shell to add on button packs like this. This is the Thompson back paddle kit. And my longtime favorite controller, the B Savior controller, which was one of the first controller add-ons to give you 4 clicky back buttons that are fully remappable and they're placed in a way that makes sense. Not like the Thompson, where you can't really get all of the buttons the way that you'd like. And then we had the short-lived Strike Pack, which can attach to your PlayStation 5 controller, making any PlayStation 5 controller have programmable back buttons. The reason I say short-lived is this product was released and then shortly after, Sony actually blocked the ability for this device to work on your PlayStation 5. Now we all know that if you use devices like the B Savior controller with its top secret super special bypass module, you can make the Strike Pack work again, but it's kind of a messy solution. So the hunt for a licensed controller that plugs into your PlayStation 5 wirelessly or wired and adds all of the features that you've been looking for, it's been missing from the market until now. And that's where the device in this box comes in. Now this is from Hex Gaming and it is called the Phantom. Well, at long last, that controller is here in our hands. And we're gonna do a quick unboxing and deep dive into all of the features that this controller has and why I think that this might become my most favorite controller and in fact will replace this guy, which is my current daily driver. Yes, potentially I'm about to have a new daily driver controller. I want to show it to you guys. NordVPN. Maybe you've never considered a VPN before because they are only for criminals and people that have something to hide. But that is simply not true. VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. A VPN creates an encrypted tunnel for your data which protects your online identity by hiding your IP address and allows you to use public Wi-Fi hotspots safely. But if you have nothing to hide, why would you need a VPN? For secure online entertainment. Do you like gaming online? Well, forget about DDoS attacks and bandwidth throttling with NordVPN. It's a VPN that gamers love and it's very gamer friendly. Do you want a more relaxed evening of sitting back and enjoying a show? Watch your favorite TV series and movies without slowdowns. NordVPN can save your movie night by preventing your ISP from throttling your connection. Also, top secret tip, you can access shows in other regions that are normally region blocked by using a VPN and setting your home connection to whatever country the show that you want to watch is airing from. This works with Netflix, Hulu, and all of the major streaming companies to access those shows that normally you wouldn't be able to see. For private internet browsing, government agencies, marketers, and internet service providers would all love to track and collect your browsing history, messages, and other private data. The best way to hide it? Using a VPN to keep your data safe. For safe traveling, use NordVPN to secure your connection on public Wi-Fi so you can browse in full privacy even when you're far away from home. Hackers have many methods to steal your data on public hotspots, but with a VPN, your online traffic is invisible to them. Ready to give NordVPN a try? Click the link down below in the description for exclusive Gears and Tech offers and discounts on a brand new signup. You can cancel anytime, but grab this deal before it expires. Signing up through the link below does help this channel out a little bit extra as well, and we really appreciate your support. Let's get back to the video. Now, first of all, I'm gonna tell you guys what I'm looking for in a controller. Obviously, back paddles are a must. Now, my daily driver only has 2 back paddles, but that is only as of recently. I'll explain why in a minute, but for me, I'm kind of a simple-minded individual. I can only handle 2 back buttons, so this is perfect. But more important than that for me is clicky triggers. So I've added the extreme rate short throw triggers on here on the L1 and R1, but also these adjustable height thumbsticks. That allows me to get the best controller configuration for FPS gaming. And that's mostly what I do. If that's not what you do, then there's a few trade-offs with what I've done here, because once you remove your adaptive triggers, you never get them back. Now, the reason I'm looking for a new daily driver is because this controller recently developed stick drift. And in a recent video, I converted this controller to Hall effect sensors, so it will never ever get stick drift again. But as part of that video, my Be Savior backpack broke and I was not able to put it back together, and that's why this controller is kind of a mod of my original daily driver. You see, my original daily driver was a Be Savior controller with the clicky triggers and adjustable height thumbsticks. So I was stuck with a dilemma. What do I do if I want to have all of the features that the Be Savior includes, the back paddle placement, but still have my clicky triggers and my adjustable height thumbsticks? The timing couldn't be better for the release of the Hex Phantom. And now you guys all know me as the king of just blabbering on about nothing. I'm glad you've stayed with me this far, because it's time to unbox this thing and take that deep dive into what it does and why it is probably going to be my new daily driver. First of all, the packaging, it's pretty basic packaging. It is got this shiny reflective Hex Gaming on here. This is kind of a pre-release launch model. I don't expect the packaging to change really at all, but currently orders are still being taken on Kickstarter, but it will launch in full production very, very shortly. So I will put a link in the description where you can grab one of these if it is something that you're interested in. If it's not, well then just enjoy my excitement while I check out this sweet new controller. Black box, I'll open it to you guys first. And there we go. So this is the big reveal. There's a Hex guide. Thank you for choosing Hex Gaming and warranty. You're welcome. Here's the controller. I'm gonna look at the controller shortly, but I wanna see what else is in the box first. It comes with this, which is a curious little box. It's a plastic box. It says Hex Gaming on it. I'll hold it up like that and you guys can hopefully see. I'll try and get the reflection there for you. And when we pop this off, there is 8 different thumbsticks. I'm gonna pop them all out here. Now that is 8 different thumbsticks. I'll walk you through the types of thumbsticks shortly, but first I want to point out, if you remove the styrofoam insulator here, there's a couple of pieces of plastic on the bottom here, and these are going to be important when we look at the controller configuration. So know that those are there. They're hidden underneath this piece of styrofoam inside here. And if you didn't know to go looking for it, you probably wouldn't even find it, because I knew it existed and I only just found it. Now, if we pull this out, there's also a bag full of little rubber bands. You're not going to use them, trust me. And then there is a Hex Gaming Phantom Controller Quick Start Guide. And I'm probably not going to read that, but if you wanted to, it tells you all kinds of stuff. But we're going to review pretty much all of the stuff. And that leaves just the controller to unbag here. And I'm so excited to check this out. Oh, that is it. Let's look at this a little bit closer in a second. I'm going to get this bag out of the way. Now, what makes this controller so special? First off, I gotta say, so this starts life as a regular PlayStation 5 controller, and then it is highly modified already from the folks over at Hex Gaming. So that means you don't have to build it yourself, not in person. Not like I did with my B Savior controller where I had to tear it apart, solder it, and do all kinds of stuff. This one comes just like how you saw it, but it's got so many cool features. First off, everything is different. So the top shell is a new replacement top shell. And the reason I know that is because right here, the button for the PS button is actually a Hex Gaming logo, and it's etched out in the shape of the Hex Gaming logo. So the PlayStation 5 logo does not fit through there the same. In fact, if I get one, you can compare the two to see that the shape is different. That means that they have to do a full top shell swap. The bottom shell is also different. It adds these little textured grips which feel rubbery. It's not just hard plastic, it's actually like a rubber, which is nice, but it also houses our 4 programmable back buttons. We're gonna take a deeper dive into those in a minute, but let's get back to the face. You'll notice that my analog sticks are missing, and that's where these 8 analog sticks come in. The cool thing is they have a long thumbstick, and it's got a wider top on it so that you can get a little bit more positional accuracy. They also have a short, wide one like that. This is probably the configuration I'm gonna do. But if you are a mushroom top kind of guy, they do have a mushroom or dome top, which is more similar to what the DualSense Edge controller has. And then they have short dome top, then short wide and short fat. Every combination, you can do it with this. The face buttons are all debranded, so you can't see, like on your regular PlayStation controller, you don't see the triangle, the square, the circle, anything like that. So they assume that you already know what those are, because if you're playing a game and it says push square to continue, and you're like, oh no, which one's square? Well, you're not gonna know on here. You have to just push lots of buttons and try. Or if you're a true PlayStation 5 fanboy, you already know which one's square, obviously. It's got standard D-pad. Now these are all standard. They're just kind of replacement buttons. Moving around to the front, we have our regular analog adaptive triggers. This maintains the full adaptive trigger functionality, just like the regular PlayStation 5 controller, and it has your standard L1 and R1 buttons. So as far as that goes, it's your regular controller. Or is it? You see on the bottom here, we've got this little slider, and if I slide this over like that, watch what happens. Now, you may not notice this at home, but when I hold it up to my mic so you can hear it. Do you hear that? That is a micro clicky trigger. We are not just adding a trigger stop here and then simulating a clicky trigger in software like the DualSense Edge, for example. We are actually sliding a mechanism in place that makes it so that this now is clicking a clicky trigger, and it's sending a digital on-off signal for ultra fast response rate and super fast timing for any kind of FPS game. Now you can pick one or pick the other. Personally, for me, I'm gonna be like this. Now, these are either on or off. So it's either clicky trigger or adaptive trigger. Those are your only 2 options. I know a lot of the other guys try to add like 3 different selection options, but trust me, this is for the best. Moving around to the back, we have the 4 back buttons that we talked about already. Now these are also hyper clicky mouse click type buttons. They have very minimal throw to them, and the placement is really good. So when I hold the controller how I normally hold it, I have easy access to both of these, or all 4 of these buttons, and it's not really out of the way like some of these other solutions. So that's pretty cool. Now this being a new back shell, I did notice it's a little bit thicker. I don't know if you guys can see it here, but because of the extra stuff that they have here, they had to drop it down a little bit, and it's not noticeable in the hand. When you hold it in your hand, it feels just like a regular PlayStation 5 controller, but man, does it feel so good. It's got the custom Phantom logo on there, which tells you exactly what controller you're using, and it's got the programmable profile button on here, and it says that it will do up to 6 swappable profiles. So you can push this button and load up the different profiles depending on the game that you're playing, which is really great for those of you who are constantly switching between different games. You can easily pick the profile which pulls up your custom mapping and any other magic that you've done to the controller. The big secret is the same reason why I pulled this guy apart. I pulled this guy apart because I've been using it for about 1.5 years and I got crazy controller drift. And I thought, man, if only there was a way that I could get rid of the controller drift without having to open this up. Because when I did open it up, I broke it. And that's why I can't use it anymore. It's broken. My Hall effect sensor install didn't go quite as planned. It works now, but it's kind of a hokey setup and it's just not ideal. So on the front here, there's this little strip, this little gray strip. And if we take this guy here, I think, there we go. So that pops open like that. And what it does, trying to show you guys, is it exposes this little purple circuit board. And then this thing doubles as a screwdriver and you can adjust. There's 4 tiny little pots on there. That's what they're called. They're called pots. And that allows you to fine tune and adjust both of your analog sticks to correct for stick drift. So as you develop stick drift, you simply pop this off, plug it into some software on your computer, and adjust your stick drift right out so that this controller lasts a whole lot longer. So all of a sudden, it's not gonna wear out in a year. It's gonna last a couple years, maybe even more. And by then you'll be ready for a new one because they have so many different color options available that you're not gonna wanna just have one anyway. In fact, I picked this beautiful white color, but there are so many other colors. So they have Chaos Black, they have Vision White, Shadow Gray, Dream Blue, and Explorer Edition, which has a semi-translucent shell, so you can actually see what's going on inside here. And for those of you who are watching this saying, Anton, tear it apart, let's see inside. I don't have to. You can just buy the Explorer Edition, have a look inside for yourself without having to risk damaging it. Now, overall, who is this for? This is for anybody who is remotely serious about playing their PlayStation 5 games. And the reason I say that is because I've always been torn between modifying my PlayStation 5 controller to have the adjustable thumbsticks, get rid of vibration, get rid of the haptic feedback, get rid of the adaptive triggers, get rid of it all and put all these other features in here to have the ultimate first-person shooter controller. But when it's time to play an experiential game, you really want all of those features back. So you ended up having 2 controllers. Finally, you can do it all with 1 controller. And I know some of you guys are saying, but Anton, the DualSense Edge already does all that. And you're right, it does, but it doesn't do as much as this. This has more of everything when you compare to any other controller. More back buttons, more thumbsticks, more drift fix options. I mean, none of them have drift fix options. The DualSense Edge wants you to swap the whole module when you get drift fix, which, I mean, it's kind of okay, but a free option is always better, right? How about more profile saves? You can get 6 different profiles on here. How about the ability to actually have clicky triggers or adaptive triggers, which many do not do. You pick one or the other. And most of the aftermarket guys are removing the vibration and the adaptive triggers anyway. Now, this controller has been many years in the making. It has gone through multiple revisions to make sure that it is the best gaming controller that anyone can offer. And based on what I've seen, I haven't tested it yet, but based on what I've seen, I think they've either hit that mark or they're very, very close. Now, if you wanted to get one, I already said that there's a link down in the description below, but what is it gonna cost you? The MSRP on this thing is about $239 US. Now, I know some of you have had a heart attack and said, but I can get a regular DualSense controller for like a lot cheaper. Yeah, but it doesn't come with all of this stuff. Even a DualSense Edge does not come with everything this comes with. And I think that this is well worth the price. But future videos will actually review how good this thing's working and what my hands-on impressions are, because I don't want to tell you guys to buy something until I've actually tried it. So today we were just talking about, hey, this exists and I'm really excited. In the next video, you're going to hear what I actually think about it. Is it crap or is this worth your hard-earned money? Stay tuned for that video.
Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.